Washington fish cookers. Back in the June episode of Washington Fish Quest, I caught some shad, I smoked it up, and I'm going to try my first piece of smoked shad ever right now. But before I do, you should see how I smoked the shad.
Alright, I gotta keep my voice down because Vanessa's already down for the night. But before I hit the hay, I gotta get these shad I caught yesterday in the brine. To make my brine, I'm going to use a pretty popular recipe. It's used for salmon as well. This recipe comes from West Coast Seafood Recipes by Blaine Freer, which is a pretty popular local seafood cookbook. However, this recipe, I don't know if that's actually from that cookbook because it's been around forever. It's a quart of water, and a quart is just 4 cups. So here comes the 4th cup. Then I'm going to have a half cup of packed brown sugar. Get out of there. Looks delicious. Alright, and then I'm going to go with half a cup of salt, and that's a non-iodized salt. There we go. And then this here is optional. This is a 4th cup of soy sauce to give it a bold little flavor there. And actually I ran out of soy, so that's about an 1/8 soy and an 1/8 teriyaki. But I've smoked stuff with teriyaki sauce before, and I tell you the soy is what really sticks with it, just because it's bold flavor. I'm going to give that a mix. By the way, these cupcakes are for an unrelated work thing for Vanessa, so I will not be covering those. Looks delicious. Yep, nothing makes you feel quite as cool as mixing with a wooden spoon. I am the mix master. I think it's about there. I'm not seeing any big chunks of things. Alright, there we go. I stirred it for about a minute. There's no big clumps of things. It will settle a bit overnight, but that's fine. Alright, now I'm going to take my herring pieces. I filleted this herring out in a bunch of different sizes since I've never done this before. And I caught 5, so I figured I could trial and error a bit. So, here's just a big fillet. I even filleted the skin off. I was really surprised how nice these herring, fillet out. Yeah, when they're, if you ice them right away, they are real easy to fillet. Sure, they're full of tiny, tiny bones, but hopefully with smoking, I'll be able to either flake most of those bones away or just eat them. Alright, so I'm putting the bigger pieces at the bottom, and then with some of the pieces, I just scaled them and left the skin on. That's what I would do if I was smoking a salmon. Again, I was really impressed with how nice the fillet was. As you can see, it's kind of gross, even though I did bleed it. But, that's one of the cool things about smoking, is the fish can be a little gross, and it just adds to the character. And I got some smaller pieces. I'm going to put these on the top. Because they probably need as much help. The salt and the brown sugar will, head towards the bottom, so I'm putting the big pieces in first so they get all the help they can get. Now, I'm going to leave this in overnight, just because I'm about to hit the hay, but really probably 6 hours would do it. After about 8 hours, they probably soaked in as much as they can possibly soak. Once I get them all nice and dried off, I'm going to put them into my little Chief smoker. It's a pretty little smoker. Kind of wish I had a bigger smoker, but it's the way it goes. And now I'm going to set the big pieces on the bottom of the smoker because they will need to be closest to the heat because they're thicker. And then the smaller pieces up to the top. And that should help get the most even smoke through all the pieces of fish. And I'll just lay them on here all pretty like.
Alright, I got my rack all filled up here. It actually probably could have held about one more shad without overpacking it too bad. I am known for overpacking my little smoker there, but I'd say it could hold 6 shad.
I'm going to put in a pan here of its hickory alder blend into the smoker. Alright, I left it in for 8 hours, and it's pretty well done, so 6 to 8 hours is a good time to leave it in there for. I ended up using 4 pans of chips. That was largely just to use up that bag of chips. The bag's gone now. 3 pans probably have been fine, but 4, it's really, really smoky. It smells great. Alright, first time ever. Seriously, if I've ever tried shad in my life, I'm going to put it in my mouth right now. Dang. This is really good smoked. You know, so it's basically like a giant herring as far as the texture of the meat goes. I usually like a dry brine, but the wet brine worked great for this. I mean, it really absorbed the brine. It really absorbed the smoke. There are a lot of small bones in there. I don't know if you'd want to give this to small children without cleaning it a little better. But the bones are just kind of dissolving away in my mouth as I grossly talk into a camera and chew. Nah, that's really good. I think I'm a shad fisherman for life now. Dang. Alright, well, thanks so much. I'll see you in the next installment of Washington Fish Cooks.